Welcome, graduates. My name is Josh Roaring. I'm the department head here in Earth Sciences at the University of Oregon, and I want to welcome you today to Commencement 2020. Now, wherever you are, whatever screen you're watching, whatever you're wearing on this particular Saturday morning, I want to let you know that this day is for you. The faculty of the Department of Earth Sciences could not be more proud of your accomplishments. You've done an incredible amount of work and projects during your time here in our department. You've done everything from identifying depositional contacts with Becky Dorsey, plotting poles and planes on a stereo net with Marley Miller, calculating magma cooling rates with Leaf, Meredith, or Thomas, measuring the salinity of water samples with Chu Shen, looking through a cross-polarization microscope with Dave Blackwell, are just some of the many examples of cool stuff you've done. You've also gone to great places to see geology and earth sciences and more. So as you look back at what you've learned during your time here, I hope you realize that knowing how to read the earth is something that you'll have for the rest of your lives. Now, hopefully, getting an earth science degree is also helpful in you achieving your career goals, whether it be graduate school, employment, or otherwise. But you also might not know that getting a geology or earth science degree is also going to make you really, really popular anytime you're out on a hike. People want to understand the world around them, and you'll be amazed at how often people will saddle up to you and want to know more once they find out you're a geologist. And I also have to admit that over the years, when you tell people you're a geology major, you're going to get a lot of rock jokes. That's never going to end. Get used to it and just try to enjoy it. So when you chose your major here, I want you to know we're super proud of you because you chose a major where you can't blend in. When you're an earth science major, you have to be present, you have to engage, whether it's in the lab, field trips, classroom, computer sections, you have to be a big part of our program, and we love that about you. So I want to thank you for all of your hard work and what it took for you to get your degree here. At the end of this, you've gotten to know many of us on a first-name basis, and we hope that continues in the future. So please enjoy this day and rejoice in your great accomplishments. We could not be more proud of you, class of 2020. Congratulations.
We've got a short and sweet program for you today here. We have speeches. Before we get to those, though, I want to encourage you to join us live later today at 1 o'clock. You can come to this address, so take a picture of it now and join us for a Zoom ceremony where we will do real-time awarding of degrees. We will have some faculty and student speeches, and you'll have a chance to wave hello and say hi to all those great people cheering you on. So tell your family and friends to join us, take a picture of the screen, make sure you install Zoom beforehand, and be ready. Now we've got speeches by Ali Villanueva, she's a 2020 graduate, and faculty member Sam Hopkins. Here we go. Thanks.
Hello everyone. Thank you to all the graduates, their families, their friends, and faculty tuning in for the 2020 commencement. A special thank you to the Earth Science Department, the Geology Club, and AAPG for making my time at UO so memorable. I know none of us would have expected to be tuning into our graduation via Zoom, but I'm so thankful we get to celebrate together and have a proper send-off. In life, we can be thrown curveballs from all different directions, especially in 2020. So I'm happy that all of our experiences have led us to the Earth Science Department at UO. Each experience has shaped us all as students in some way or another, even if it was in the smallest and slightest way. Whether it was testing your artistic ability in Greg's 200 level class, or testing your patience in mineralogy with Dave, or testing your pure will as a geologist when you wanted to give up at field camp, but then you came out with the utmost confidence. With each experience, you came out tougher and stronger. And we didn't know it at the time, but all of the early mornings at field camp and all the long field trip days and all the assignments in between, they were preparing us for our time after UO. In Earth, we are so fortunate to have such a small department because all the faculty and staff become like a family to all of the students. Being from out of state, that was something that I gravitated towards. I almost never felt homesick because of all the friends and family I had built at Earth Science. I know our time at UO has come to an end, but it doesn't mean that our Earth family cannot live on. I would like to leave you with a quote that resonated with me that I found while at field camp. It is titled Advice from a Mountain. Reach for new heights. There is beauty as far as the eye can see. Climb beyond your limitations. Be uplifting. Savor life's peak experiences. Rise above it all and rock on. Thank you and congratulations to the class of 2020. I wish you luck and prosperity in your life outside of UO.
Hello, Earth Sciences class of 2020. Congratulations to all of you on completing your degrees. I know this isn't the end to your time at UO we all expected, but you made it. You've completed your classes and other work, and you're moving on to the next big thing, be it a job, more school, or something else. This is a big deal, a signpost in your life and career, and while I know you've all gotten here through different paths, you've arrived at the same place, at least virtually so, and so this is an important moment to pause and reflect on the sum of all the things you've done to get to this point. You've done classwork and fieldwork, and maybe some research, all together culminating in the requirements for a degree in earth sciences. It's an exciting field to be in, with so many major issues facing society today that are informed by the data we as earth scientists are trained to deal with. Having arrived at this point, however, I know many of you are faced with uncertainty. It would be ridiculous to pretend that the situation is normal, given that this is a graduation speech delivered virtually, remotely, in recorded form to all of you at home. It's a strange and stressful thing to finish your degree in the midst of a global pandemic and of political unrest, and while I can't tell you it will all be okay, I can offer you some thoughts that were helpful for my own thinking about what we can do in the situation in which we find ourselves. Several weeks ago, I was feeling overwhelmed by the pandemic and the responses of politicians and the public, and I was thinking, what can I do about this situation? I'm a paleontologist. I can't develop a treatment for the disease. I can't make public health policy. What can I do? This isn't an earth science crisis. What does an earth scientist have to contribute to the major societal problems we're experiencing today? I realized in that moment that my work itself doesn't contribute to solving this crisis, but the way I approach problem solving is one that I can use to navigate this constantly changing situation, and maybe share with the people around me so we can all do better. We know that one of the problems we're encountering in facing this pandemic is a lack of critical thinking, and I'd like to point out that this doesn't have a political home. I've seen unsupported ideas shared on social media by people on either end of the political spectrum. In a time of crisis, it is more important than ever to take the objective analysis, the demand for evidence, and the continual re-examination of assumptions that is central to our science, to our decision-making elsewhere. When new problems come up, you have to take your time gathering evidence if you want to solve them effectively. You know that from your work, but you can apply this to decision-making elsewhere too. Is it safe to go to the store? Do I need to wear a face mask? You can find opinions on these subjects from a variety of sources, and the critical evaluation of these sources, of that evidence, is essential to making the right decisions. The second place where your training in science will help you handle our current roller coaster of change is in teaching you mental flexibility and a willingness to adjust to new data. We all know that the best scientists are those who can change their ideas based on new information. You always have to be ready for your hypotheses to be wrong, even if you've spent 20 years defending them. In times of crisis, this mental flexibility will be hugely valuable. For the business world, it already has been. Watching distilleries pivot to produce artisanal hand sanitizer instead of whiskey, and restaurants introducing soap and toilet paper to their delivery menus, offers us an opportunity to think about how to stay flexible in our thinking about how to exist in the new normal society while we wait for the development of a COVID-19 vaccine. I remember my own moment of necessary mental adjustment when I realized that my long-held feeling that face masks were useless in controlling disease needed to go out the window so I could protect other people from my own potential infectiousness. I've faced similar adjustments in recent years, reconciling my personal narrative of struggle growing up as a first-generation college student and woman in science with the reality of my privilege based on race, class, and nationality. I hope that you discover your own time spent studying science has helped you find the tools to face similar adjustments yourselves. So here we are. This may not be the graduation we expected to give you, but this is the graduation you have. I hope that like the earth scientists you are, You're finding ways to use all the tools at your disposal. You're finding ways to pivot to meet the information you're presented with, and that you can use what you've spent the last few years learning to meet all the challenges before you and come out stronger and more resilient. I also want to take this moment to remind you that just by getting here to your graduation day, you have been strong and resilient and persistent, for which I want to congratulate you. Although this comes at a time when we can't all be together in person, we will be again soon, and until then, congratulations, class of 2020. I look forward to hearing what all of you do as you leave UO and go out to pursue your next challenge.
Hello again, graduates. I just wanted to give you another chance to take a picture of this website for our live ceremony later. And without further ado, let's pass out some degrees. Congratulations.
Marissa Acosta, Gabe Farragut, Alan Lerner,
Matthew Morris, Dan O'Hara,
Pierce Hunter, Marcus Kennecke,
Eli Orland,
Abdullah Alkandari, Jacob Anderson, Annika Baker, Lindsay Banks, Justin Chastain, Alicia Cullings, Shyla Davison,
Hello, my name's Shyla Davison, and I'm graduating with a bachelor's in earth science with a focus in paleontology. And I want to say thank you to my amazing grandparents for always being there. I love you guys.
Christopher DePaulo, Nick Feldkamp, Ryan Ford, Seth Gale, Letha Graham, Kurgis Hebert, Jade Hill, Kelsey Hunter, Kendall John, Sabina Kim, Alice Kitchen, Sarah Koff, Zach Lahair,
Shiloh Martin, Caitlin McKibben, Ethan Nyangota, Joey Olson, Jordan Richardson, Michael Sevilla, Gavin Schrader, Keenan Shantz, Allie Thompson, Alondra Villanueva, Megan Wyatt,